Hold on. Are you still using Moleskine paper for your fountain pen? Stop. I have a better option for you. Try one of these. Hi guys, welcome. I'm Tammy. Today we're going to talk about the best fountain pen friendly paper in notebook format. Now I have here a Tomoe River notebook, I have a Midori notebook, I have some Rhodia and Clairefontaine, which are essentially the same thing, and I have some Iroful paper. Now, let's get right into it. Now the first one I want to talk about is the legendary Tomoe River in Hobonichi format. How I'm gonna do this is I'm just gonna go over the notebook itself, judge it based on fountain pen friendliness, some pros and cons. In terms of the Hobonichi, obviously the largest pro is just the sheer variety of covers that you are afforded. The covers are beautiful. You can see I've got the one piece, but I've had multiple others and I love them. They're beautiful, wonderful, amazing. Tomoe River itself is legendary status. Like we all know, it's super fountain pen friendly. It's very good for inks. It showcases inks brilliantly. You can see it's super satisfying and it's very smooth when your pen glides across it. Even regular pens, it doesn't have to be a fountain pen. Regular gel pens are also smoother on a smooth paper, in case you didn't know this, but I'm pretty sure you probably already do. The main drawback of Tomoe River for me is just that it's too thin sometimes, and the weight of the paper is good when you want to have many pages per gram of weight basically, but it's more of a negative when we're talking about visual distraction on the other side of the page, especially if you're doing like calligraphy or if you write with very thick nibs and you tend to go for darker inks. Show through can be pretty intense and be kind of distracting. So that's the downside of this. Keep in mind. The next one up in this list is Midori. Again, legendary notebooks. Beautiful vintage aesthetic, beautiful cream color, very smooth paper, almost no show through, very smooth, pleasant writing experience. I do feel like it has a bit of feedback, like nice vintagey, satisfying, crunchy feedback. But it does have one drawback. It dulls your inks a little bit. Also, actually, the Life Noble notebooks are quite similar to this in that sense. They dull ink properties a little bit. Inks that would sheen on some other paper, maybe more ink-resistant papers, like Tomoe River, don't sheen quite as well on Midori paper and Life Noble paper. But a great plus is also the variety of covers that you get. That's also great. Now, another downside might be for some people, the formats. I know some people are very peculiar about their formats, so keep in mind, very unusual, not your regular A5 or A6 that you might be used to. Next, we're gonna talk about the legendary, again, all of these are legendary, to me at least, the Clairefontaine and the Rhodia notebooks. Now, Clairefontaine paper is basically the same as Rhodia paper because Clairefontaine, I think, makes Rhodia paper. So yeah, it's basically the same quality paper, the same smoothness, the same bright white color. Ruling is very similar. Now this is a limited edition Clairefontaine. I think I got it from Goulet. Now if you can tell, I have some writing here. Let me just show you a blank page. The ruling is classic French ruling, and the ruling is pretty wide, the spacing that is. It's good for larger handwritings. They're both great notebooks. They show ink properties decently well. Not as well as like Tomoe River, but still, they show them very well. One negative thing I have to say about both of these brands is the lack of variety of cover options. Rhodia does have their like faux leather bound covers, but that's not as much variety as I would wish, and the same goes for Clairefontaine. Beautiful notebooks, the presentation leaves much to be desired, for me at least. Maybe you don't feel that way, but you pick and choose, you know? If you feel like the presentation is good enough, it works for you, then it works for you. And now, finally, the last contender in this list, the Iroful paper notebook. Now this is made in Japan. Most of these are made in Japan. I mean, I'm pretty sure you know Tomoe River, Midori are made in Japan. Clairefontaine and Rhodia is made in France. I think, not sure. Don't quote me on that. But Iroful is this wonderful paper. This is, in my opinion, the best, most fountain pen friendly paper notebook in this list. Maybe even in the world, really. It provides extremely smooth writing, beautiful, just any type of pen glides on this paper like butter, like a knife glides through butter. Another major benefit of this that I've noticed is that this paper will enhance ink properties dramatically in a way that none of the others, even Tomoe River, does not. One of my favorite inks of all time is the Diatramentis Document ink in turquoise. That ink does not, it shades pretty well, but it does not sheen really on any paper that I had before, but it sheens on Iroful. It's nothing crazy, but you know, it does, you can visibly see sheen. It's a beautiful, it's in general, it has beautiful ink behavior. It shades also, it shows shading incredibly well as well. Rhyming on the go. Paper is thick enough to not show through as much as like the Tomoe River paper does. Dot grid in it. I've never had the graph, but the dot grid is subtle and non-intrusive, and it does not cloud your writing experience quite as badly as some other grid patterns can do. As you might have already guessed, to me the major downside of this is that it, again, does not have much variety. It really has no variety. It just comes in this regular paper thin bound edition. But, you know, I have some great news for you guys. This actually fits in the regular Hobonichi A5 covers perfectly well. I have one of these as my current journal in a cover like this. It's a different cover. Excuse my Hobonichi obsession. That's some good news, is that even though this doesn't have as much variety, if you really wanted to use this paper, you could just, and especially if you wanted a nice cover for it, you could just get a Hobonichi A5 cover and put your Iroful in there. That's all I have for you guys today.